Good morning, good morning. So, I'm doing a series this week on conventional wisdom and why it's not so wise. So, today, conventional wisdom says that companies know best and that, for example, the job description is a good reflection on what the company is actually looking for, or the line management is actually looking for. No, not a chance. Okay, so let's put some numbers on that. I would guess that something like 60 to 70% of jobs that I see in the market have not been defined effectively at all. This is James Foster and Careers Matter. So what does that mean then when it comes to the job search process, to your job search process? It means that the document that is being primarily used by the recruiter or by the internal recruitment team, by HR, that's being used to drive the applicant tracking system is not fit for purpose, or generally not fit for purpose. What tends to happen is they grab a document that they've written up perhaps some time ago, and they go, yeah, that'll do, use that, and really and truly that's as scientific as it gets. Nobody's actually sat down and said, okay, look, what is it we're looking for this particular position? What's the function that we want done? What's the outcome that we want by bringing somebody in for this? To some extent, if it's a replacement role, you can maybe justify that. But even so, even if it's a replacement role, what is it that you're looking for this person to be doing for you? So what's his first 3 months objectives, 6 months objectives, year objectives? What is going to be the outcome for this particular individual? And unless the analysis is done of the job in the first place, the job description isn't fit for purpose. No matter where it's come from, it isn't fit for purpose. And the reason it's not fit for purpose is it's not been assessed on the job that this person's going to come and do. And so therefore, they're looking for a template individual, not the right person. Big difference. Template individual, where you've got a template, you're trying to match somebody up to that template. Let's be honest, most job descriptions are an idealized version of the job at best. Most job descriptions are the finished article when somebody's been in the job for 2 years, not when somebody's starting out in the job. Most job descriptions have actually just put a lot of stuff in there, or a lot of job descriptions have just put a lot of stuff in there because it's a wish list rather than an actual need to have. And the analysis done to create that job description in the first instance is not necessarily relevant to the job that you're looking to bring on. I've become aware of myself going a lot. If you look at the job description, you quite often will see that it's broken down into several sections: a description of the business, a functional description, or where the job's fitting into the organisation, therefore the functional description of the job, and then the technical skills, etc., that are needed for the job, both from a must-have point of view and a desire-to-have point of view. My experience is that's been done well in the first place. If it's got all those components, it's been done well in the first place. Somebody's really thought about what they're doing. But my experience is also that is a job up here where quite often what's really needed is something very specific, but maybe mid-level, of all of those skills. But they were looking for somebody that can do something specific. They're looking for somebody, so maybe they're looking for a project manager that has managed a certain type of project, and it doesn't really say that in the job description. Maybe they're looking for somebody that has designed a certain network a certain type, a certain style, has included certain attributes into that network. And that's not reflected in the job description. Maybe they're looking for somebody who can work their way into the job. That's not reflected in the job description. And the problem is that because it's not reflected in the job description, everybody in the chain to assessing it before the line manager is assessing it on what the job description says, and it goes, we want this skill, we want that skill, we want the other skill, and if those skills aren't there, then the candidate gets kicked out. And very often that is why quality individuals are missed and filtered out in the hiring process. The other thing I notice a lot, I mentioned earlier about the idea that you have the must-haves and the nice-to-haves in a CV. Frankly, I'd leave the nice-to-haves out, they're irrelevant. The reason why they're irrelevant is because if they're written on the CV, they become must-haves. And the people that are assessing them, they look down, yes, got that. These three things here, nice to have a foreign language. Does he speak French? No, he doesn't speak French. Does he speak German? No, he doesn't speak German. We need somebody with a foreign language. No, it's nice to have a foreign language. Yeah, but we really want to try and get somebody with a foreign language. It's because it's written on the job spec, it's being included. And that particular nice to have is no longer a nice to have, it's a must have. And that I see happen a lot. Possibly the one thing that we get away with is maybe somebody having a degree. If they've been in a job and proven themselves in a job, do they need to have a degree where it says that they need to have a specific type of a degree? That may be one of the areas that gets bypassed. But the reason for that is that very often the company goes, we would like degree educated people to come into the business, and the line management's banging their head against the wall going, we don't need somebody with a degree, we need somebody who can do the job. And there's been an internal tussle and it's got through. But I've worked for 2 or 3 companies where degrees have been mandatory, and the number of people that get missed, because very good people, very capable people, because they took a decision early on in their career, earlier on in their lives, not to go down the degree route to get their education, but to take their education in a different way, to take it in a work environment. And so this, to some people's minds, that's not a good thing to do. So anyway, that's a bit of a digression here. The point is, conventional wisdom says that companies know best. The job description is always a reflection of the work and what the line management is looking for, and that is 60 to 70%, that sort of level, not the case. Doesn't mean to say that everything on the job description is wrong, and it doesn't mean to say that when you're applying for the job that you shouldn't reflect the job description in your application. You should. You still need to do that, but you need to be aware that in that process, that very often the analysis of the job has not been done by the company, or has not been done satisfactorily by the company, and that the team that's actually involved with the job search has not had a proper brief, has not had, has not sat down with the line management to really understand the job. The classic in this is they've worked with me for a while now, so understand. Yeah, okay. What that means is you don't want to actually do the job analysis and convey that information across, and you're hoping that the person that's worked with you before will be able to read your mind. It doesn't work like that, and that is what it amounts to. And if if you're a hiring manager listening to this, do you recognise it in yourself? Because I come across it all the time. Literally, I think in 17 years, I am not sure that I have had more than 2 or 3 line managers sit down and really work through the job with me to explain exactly what they're looking for. They almost expect me to be able to know better than them. And I am a recruiter. I do know the market. I do understand to a large extent what a good candidate will look like, but I don't know what they are looking for from the job. I don't know what they're looking to get out of the individual. They've got to tell me what that is, and then I can go find it much, much better. Anyway, this is James Foster and Careers Matter, and we'll cover another conventional wisdom tomorrow. Thanks very much.